early 1991, director Michael Lehmann, who you'd probably know from directing Heathers in 1988, starring Christian Slater, Winona Ryder, he did a movie right after that called Meet the Applegates. So this film was actually a New World Pictures film. New World Pictures was on the brink of going belly up, so there was a lot of financial woes and issues going on, and the film never got properly released. It was seen by Siskel and Ebert, and they did tear it apart because that's what they did. And this movie is a staple from my mid 90s youth watching and discovering films. Had to have been premiered on like HBO or Cinemax. I remember seeing it, being freaked out, loved it. So this movie stars Ed Begley Jr., Bobby Jacoby, who was also in Tremors as Melvin, and he was also in Can't Hardly Wait as one of Kenny's friends in it, one of the G'd out white boys. And what's funny is Bobby Jacoby actually had a brother, Billy Jane. Billy Jane was also an actor, and he was in this movie called Just One of the Guys, one of my favorite 80s movies ever. Check it out if you haven't. And we actually did an episode on it on the podcast, Sight and Sound Podcast. You can check that out too. Links in the description. And that one, super great. He's in that one. He was also in Cujo as one of the older boys, I think, that isn't lost in the woods at the beginning or whatever and finds the rabid bat or whatever, is chasing Cujo before Cujo becomes rabid. But anyway, back to Meet the Applegates. So this movie never got properly distributed. It's about South African beetles who are cosplaying as humans and move into this Ohio town, and they pretty much eat and devour people, and to them, they're just living life. That's what you do as a beetle. They're learning human habits, trying to conform to human norms while also trying to just live that beetle life. But Michael Lehmann did this, and which is super interesting because it has a lot of the darkness and the humor that Heathers had. Now, Michael Lehmann also did one of my favorite comedies of all time, 1994's Airheads. Airheads, if you haven't seen it, you must have been living under a rock. If you're anywhere in the age range of 30 to 45, you probably grew up and loved that movie because it was on Comedy Central all the time. Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler, Brendan Fraser, amazing cast, hilarious, a lot of SNL tie-in because it was produced by 20th Century Fox. But I'll tell you right now, this movie was called Meet the Applegates. This has never gotten a proper release ever. It was also called The Applegates as well as an alternative title. This is a bootleg copy that I got probably 15 years ago, maybe more. It never got a DVD release. It was only released on VHS, and the VHS is pretty scarce as well. But I do have this bootleg copy that I cherish because this is one film I would love to see a Vinegar Syndrome get their hands on, or an MVD. Even if it was a CBS Fox, this was I don't know if this was actually a media release, but it is right there. On the VHS, it had to have been, because I think this is just a copy of what the VHS front and back and spine was. This movie is hilarious. It's super dark, super funny. Ed Begley Jr. is amazing in it. I think he's super underrated. If you've seen any of his other work, another horror comedy from 86, Transylvania 6 5000 with Jeff Goldblum. Amazing movie. Hilarious. Gina Davis is in it too. This one, though, has some cool visual effects with them transforming in and out of bug form. And it's just super, like, of the time. Again, this movie was recorded. It was filmed in 88, 89. And it didn't get released until 1991, February 1st, 1991. It's a shame because I really think if this movie had better distribution, it would be a little bit more known and a little bit more revered. It's not, unfortunately, but if you can find yourself a bootleg copy until this hopefully gets a real release, I highly advise it. It's also on YouTube. There's a pretty high definition version of it on YouTube. You can watch it there. It's so fun and it's so quirky. A lot of Michael Lehmann holdovers from Heathers are in it. Glenn Shaddix is in it, who you know as Otho. In Beetlejuice, he was also the asshole teacher in Sleepwalkers. It's super fun. And yeah, this is probably a movie you might not have heard of. And if you've heard it, you might not have seen it. So highly advise you check this out. For the director alone, I think he did Hudson Hawk, the Bruce Willis film right after this. This is such a weird off-ball or like oddball, off the beaten path movie. Not for him, because this is a lot in the same vein as Heathers, a little goofier, obviously, because they're bugs. But this was so fun. Growing up and watching it, I had forgotten the name of it, and when I got this and I saw the cover, I immediately knew what it was. And this is probably like 2009, 2010, so 15, 16, 17 years ago. I saw it at a bootleg table at a horror convention that I went to, and I picked it up immediately because there was no other release for it, and there hasn't been yet. Will we get it? I don't know. Are the film elements lost in time? Were they burnt up? Who knows? But regardless, 1990 it's billed as, but it did not come out until 91, unfortunately. Super fun film, weird, quirky, just the kind of movie that we like talking about here. And yeah, get your hands on this one. It's super fun. And 1990 was a great year for horror films. And I'm going to have a couple more videos about this. I have a couple more sitting right here that we are going to dive into. And those videos will be coming soon. And they might not be the big movies from 1990 that you'd expect. 1990 was a big year for horror. Obviously, exiting the 80s. Big, huge thing. You're going into the 90s, new decade, new rules, as they say. But, you know, you had juggernauts like It and Misery come out, two Stephen King adaptations. But there was a lot of good, lower budget, not well-known horror movies that were coming out. And we're going to talk about those because those are super fun. But yeah, you can check us out on Instagram at Heartgod Media. That's where I'm doing most of the posting and stuff. Maybe I'll get a TikTok. I don't know about that. But if you want to push all this stuff, that'd be greatly appreciated. Tell your friends if your friends are into weird, oddball movies and B movies, horror movies, action movies, unknown comedies from the 80s, things like that. That's going to be our bag. That's what we're going to be talking about. We've talked about it on our podcast that have been around since 2017. You can check that out. Super, super excited to be diving into things like this. Like, I'd love to start having conversations with somebody about the Applegates, aka Meet the Applegates, because I don't really know anybody that grew up like watching this stuff and like found it as young as I did. Not to say like, oh, I'm so cool that I found it super early. I just remember seeing this, forgetting about it, and then seeing this bootleg and being like completely brought back to 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old me and being like, oh my God, it's time. These are time capsules, and super excited to talk about them because especially something like this, it's not talked about a lot. But yeah, check us out on Instagram, Heartgod Media, and we'll see you soon.